Welcome to the course on practice-oriented research methods in the social sciences. My name is Stefan Geis and I'm a course coordinator for this course. This video is designed to guide you through the way this lecture is structured and the pedagogical concept that is being used. The main learning interface for you is this website you can navigate on that includes lots of information and lots of resources that you can use during this course. In addition, there is videos such as this one that accompany the different sections of this website and walk you through the content in the different sections for self-study. Self-study is an important part of the course concept, because the idea is that I don't stand in the lecture hall for you and explain things from A to Z. Rather, the idea is that you can go through the materials yourself or watch the accompanying videos, which will make it easier in many cases to come to grips with the methodological content and mission in this course. So you familiarize yourself with that, and then you come to the actual lecture, which is a space where you can ask questions for clarification. You can inquire if you want additional information or something, or have alternative ideas, or have other kinds of questions. So we can do a Q&A in that. But the first and foremost thing that I'd like to do is to apply the kinds of content that we've covered for that session, that you've prepared for that session, and really see what this practically means when you design a study, when you plan sampling, when you create measurement instruments, when you are engaged in data analysis, and so on. Good. The course overview is found here, so you can navigate to all these sites, and this tells you when the different sessions are to occur. So for instance, on the 19th of August, we'll have an introduction session where you don't have to prepare material and just come there with the amount of knowledge that you bring to the table. And we'll have a little startup quiz that's not being graded, and that should help you find out where you stand regarding research methods in the social sciences, and in which areas you probably need to pay the most attention or have something to catch up on. Then a week after that, we will look at the research process and epistemology. So your job would be to look up these two sections, research process and epistemology, and prepare the content for that session. And on the 30th of August, it's about research design and sampling. Good. So this covers mostly part one, which is about data gathering and the research process, and covers basically the basics of methodology in the social sciences in a way that helps you apply this knowledge. Then we have the second part, which introduces you to more specific data gathering methods that you can prepare, and this corresponds roughly to these sections. Then we enter into the really practical part of the lecture with part 3, where you join a certain group, a project group, together with other students, and work on a project in one of 5 methods: content analysis, quantitative content analysis, qualitative interviews, quantitative surveys, survey experiments, or text mining and document analysis, which effectively amounts to a qualitative content analysis. You have a startup meeting where you, under supervision of a specialist on that method, develop a research problem and some basic design features, allowing you to, in the meantime, draft measurement instruments and plan the procedures for case selection, sampling, and so on, which then allows you to start with the data gathering process, maybe make some last-minute revisions, or continue the data gathering process, allowing you to then write a report about this very project, which is the main criterion for your grade in this course. So the idea is that if you manage to write a good individual report about your group project, then this demonstrates that the learning goals were achieved. We have a conference-like session where all the groups then can present their data and their results and talk about their challenges with report writing, such that you're on the right track to then submit your report by December 3rd. Okay, so your report is due December 3rd. You have good time working on it still after this last session. And then we wrap up with some look at future development potential in methodology, such as digital methods, and how to develop your methods portfolio over time. Okay. In the first session, we will vote about the research topic. I have 3 different ones you can select from. That would be artificial intelligence, climate change and or transition to a renewable energy system, and emergencies and crisis. We also have defined the learning outcomes as in the course description. You can look that up here, but in the end you should have the practical ability to work from a research objective that you develop or that is given to you, develop an appropriate research study that you can put to the field. Yes. When it comes to literature, I have lots of different small encyclopedia articles that deal with many different methodologies, many different methodological terms, methodological choices that you will recognize in the main script for the course, and that you can use to prepare. It's very often not necessary to read these in their entirety, but often having a brief look at the introduction or their conclusion, their summary is sufficient to get a feel for what the term unit of analysis, for instance, means. So that's the working knowledge that you need. If you just click on these links, you will be transferred to that article or the page of that article, and can start reading that. It requires that you are logged in to the NTNU network. Maybe you have to set up a virtual private network. Is that how it's called? VPN. To log in to NTNU's systems remotely, such that it recognizes that you have the right to access these articles. They are all different keywords from this encyclopedia. Okay, that means besides that you don't really need to buy any specific study materials, though you can also use the latest version of Breiman's social research methods, which is about 700 kroner. So particularly if you have difficulty with these small individual articles and want something more holistic, then I can recommend Breiman's social research methods. Here you can read on what the project reports are supposed to do and how they will be graded in the end. So this is all transparent and should give you a good idea of what this works towards. Since I'm actively working on this website and the materials compiled there, you will realize that there's errors every now and then. For instance, here it hasn't compiled the references, so I probably need to put it like that. So the references aren't visible here. That there will be a few such, there will be changes in the materials during the semester, and there will be some errors and problems, and I just want to encourage you to let me know if you encounter any significant problems in the current materials. So I'm building some of the materials in the later lectures only right now. So no need to tell me that these are not complete yet. Okay, that I know, and I'm actively contributing to them. But yes, let's look into one of the learning units to get a feel for how they are supposed to work. They have a table of contents here on the right hand side always that start with the learning goals and that are finished with a section where you have a little quiz for your own check up and that you can check whether you got the answer right, and if you want to know why a certain option is right and some other is not right, you can ask for an explanation. And then there's reflection questions as well. So this is 3 sections that will always recur, And then we have content that, of course, varies between the different sessions. So these are the sub-units for learning. For example, here you can navigate the different stages of the research process and what we want to look at in that section. And if you think you've heard enough about that, you can go forward to the next section about formulating the research problem, about theorizing, about designing a study, though this is there's a dedicated learning unit for that, so that's not elaborated on here very much. I have little visualizations from AI created images every now and then to just not have only text in these kinds of sections. So this is how these individual sections do work. And then we also have a quiz. That is our startup quiz for the first session, where you can assess how well you perform in the different areas, and can assign a grade to yourself, and we can maybe get a feel for how much we need to go into certain aspects. Okay, and here's here's just a very little bit of information about the teachers involved in this course, so you know me already, but later on when we go into specific methods, we'll have Hendrik Sturstein-Spilker, who will supervise projects on qualitative interview that involve qualitative interviewing, Andreas Goldberg, who will supervise a project on survey research, and Nanna Lauritz-Schönhage, who will provide a supervised project on survey experiments. Going back to these, supervised projects, it should be clear that these sessions here are intense sessions where you are with your supervisor, and there's opportunity to ask any questions, ask for feedback, and so on. So you should properly prepare each of these sessions such that the relevant questions are asked at the right times. Okay? So this is a rough overview about how this course is supposed to work, and everything else is clarified in our first meeting. And if there's something really significant, I will just add additional content to this video.